Booyah. Up in the house. Up in the house. Up in the house. We are live. We are live. How's everybody doing? My name is Tim Black. Welcome back. Glad you can make it. It's Friday. And since it's Friday, that means it's Freedom Friday. We're going to do the show live as always. We're going to do some calling out of some numbskulls, and some hypocrites, some liars, some connivers. I hope you guys are ready. We're also going to do some standing up for democracy. Real standing up, not that Nancy Pelosi stuff I'm hearing the Democrats talk about. No, I'm not going to do that. Oh, man. And of course, answer some questions, respond to feedback, interact with my people. What is going on? What is going on? I'm trusting this thing is like kicking it back out. So I want to say what's up to my people in the chat. What's up, chat? How y'all doing, chat? What's up to my people on YouTube, my people on Facebook, my people on Twitter? What is happening? Now, we want to help the algorithm make sure that we get out there to the masses. So do me a favor and go ahead and hit like if you could. And if you're really down, go ahead and share this out on your public profile or your social media or whatever. Yeah, let people know that you're watching the Tim Black Show live on a Friday night. Maybe if they ain't doing nothing too special, they can come on through and holler at us. Right? Let me see what I got in my comment section right now, people. Buck's in the house. Buck says you sounded good out there, Tim Black. They can hear you. Yeah. Thank you, Buck, as always, my brother. Deidre. What's up, Deidre? How you doing, Deidre Carter? That's a new name. I don't remember seeing you around, Deidre. Thank you for coming through. Give us some shine, y'all. Thank you, Deidre. On Facebook, too. That's what's up. And some kitty. Some kitty. You're going to have to explain to me your name at some point, some kitty. Because I don't know what you're trying to say with that. But give it up for some kitty. Is in the house. Some kitty's been holding me down for quite a while, too. La 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 cha cha. La 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 cha cha. She in the house. La la cha cha said, Timmy. Yeah, that's reserved for my friends. Like La La Cha-Cha, she been around, man. She know what's good. Wow. We got Twitter people going on. Twitter. Is Twitter open? They tell me what's up with Twitter. Anybody on Twitter? Let me know if you're on Twitter. Because they don't tell me here. Like, I can see who's on YouTube, who's on Facebook, but they don't show me anything for Twitter. DJ Starchild in the house saying, what's up? What's up, fam? Good looking out. Where you from, DJ Starchild? What city? What state? Give you a shout out. Yeah. D is in the house. Positive vibes on a Friday. FBA. B1, stand up. Damon's up in the house. Damon Reeves. Brother has returned. He's stomping in his big black boots. Walking, stomping in my big black boots. There we go. That was an Ice Cube lyric going back to like 90-something. 90-something. What? Deidre's from D.C.? Oh, no, that's a double. We got to give him more. That's more caps. That's more love there. That's a homie right there. That's a homegirl. That's a homegirl tuning in. What's up, sis? Yeah, man. I just responded to an Instagram post about DC. They had a picture of the Celebrity Hall, right? It was like, if you know what this is, you are old. If you used to go here, you are legitimately old. I'm like, Yeah, that's me. I'm gonna go ahead and claim it. Celebrity Hall. We went to Celebrity Hall, went to the Metro, went to the Ibex, went to Kilimanjaro, went to Love. God, what's the other joint? What's the joint I had a membership at? Damn. Over there by the waterfront. That's bad. I had them, and I actually paid for that. That's the joint I saw Mike Tyson in that night. Mike Tyson was there chilling. I was like, "What's up, Mike?" Keep that to myself. He did not look like he wanted to be bothered by guys saying "What's up" to him. Oh man, Mrs. Black, I know the name of it. What's up, people? What's up, people? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? Hey, yo, Rude boy up in the house. Twitter's my ex, no mas. Twitter's my ex, no mas. Gave up on Twitter. I put it. Hey, look, I stream the Twitter. There's some people on Twitter though. I'm like, okay, cool, man. Yo, recently, like very recently, Twitter started showing me a little bit of love. I'll tell you guys what's hilarious. I put out a clip on TikTok, right? I'm on TikTok as Tim Black Show. So I put this clip out on TikTok, the same one I put out on YouTube and Facebook. And it's the clip of Tiffany Haddish going in on the students, talking about the students in the protests, at the campus protests. In that clip, I was very critical of Tiffany, but the way I was critical, I was being sarcastic. So Tiffany's at a Netflix festival, comedy festival, and instead of telling jokes, she's yelling at the top of her lungs and cursing out students, California students who protest. Some of those students may be in the audience, it seems. And I was just saying, wow, she's doing some hellified crowd work. Look at Tiffany Haddish do this crowd work. Look at her tearing up the room. She's making sure nobody comes back to spend money with her to watch her show. And there were people that didn't get my sarcasm, so they're like, yeah, man, she did tear up that room. Yeah, she stood up. Yeah. I'm like, no, man, I don't support her. I looked and that thing's at 100,000 views. I'm like, come on, man. They done shared it, liked it, reposted it. Did all types of stuff with her. Come on, man. Why can't I get this type of love on YouTube? 100,000 without even trying. I've got other videos on TikTok close to 1 million. There's something about the YouTube, man. YouTube no liking. So anyway, like I said, TikTok, Tim Black Show. Wow. All right, it's Friday night. Feeling right. So we're going to do what we got to do tonight, man. We're going to get into some stuff, man. I got to tell you, man, one of the things about doing this job that I love to do, don't get me wrong, I'm not here complaining about what I do. There's a lot of people work a lot harder, put up with a lot more ish than I do. I know that. So I don't want you playing no violins with Tim Black. It ain't that type of party. I chose to do this. I do have to say though, I had no idea how bad it was until I got in it. I think if I would have known how much of a racket the media game is, like, I would have been like, nah. Oh, for real? You can't be honest? No. I mean, you can be honest. You can be honest and broke. But all the people that you see getting caked up, them people, they traded that in a long time ago because this is not that type of business. You want to save the world, you do that on your time. If you keep it a hobby, you can do whatever you want. If you want to actually run a business, employ people, pay bills, yo, it's different. So anyway, well, I want to start with this clip because this is hilarious. RFK Jr. is running for president. You know that? Everybody know that? And he goes on platforms. He chooses the platforms. I was just telling Mrs. Black because She reached out to RFK Jr. and his squad, and they responded. This is like early on. They were like, well, his schedule's kind of booked up now, but we're going to circle back. We're going to be sure to come on the Tim Black Show. She was like, all right. She told me about it, and I was like, all right. And then they just went dark. They went darker than this jacket, this hat, and even darker than me. It's like, wow, they went dark, man. They no responding. Everything was silenced off. And so Mrs. Black's still a little bit, like, wow, that's cold. They did that, because they went other places. And they went on Breaking Points. Shout out to Breaking Points. And I think they went on the Hill. I think he went on the Hill. I think he did. So anyway, he's been on the drunk comedians. Anyway, so he's been a lot of places, but he ain't been here. And some people say, Tim, it's because, you supported Cornel West, and it's like, oh, come on. I say, dog, supporting Cornel West is an ethical thing. It's nothing to do with business. If I wanted to make money, I would be supporting RFK Jr. or Trump or Biden. But people don't respect that. They don't give a shit. It's like, guys, it's not obvious that I'm standing on ethics 10 toes down? Because the money is not with Dr. West. You do understand this. They don't care. You don't get no brownie points. You don't get no respect for doing the right thing or doing something ethical. That's how people sell out, because you're going to get shitted on no matter what you do. So anyway, the point is this. RFK Jr., he went on Sage Steele's program. Now, Sage Steele took the place of Candace Owens on the Daily Wire. Is it the Daily Wire? I always get the names mixed up. Yeah. Okay, Daily Caller, Daily Wire. I got it right that time. On the Daily Wire. So they got rid of one black people hating. Black people, their own problem. Black people, your own worst enemy. Black people just need to do more schooling and do more praying to God, or they need to become better patriots. And they need to start brushing their teeth more, and everything will work out. Racism is a myth. They traded one sister like that and got another one. They got another one even more hungry. So they got rid of Candace, then they traded in for Sage Steele. They got the new version. This sister. So anyway, so here goes a clip of Sage Steele interviewing RFK Jr. and being just as hypocritical and just as backstabbing and just nonchalantly just full of shit as Candace Owens has ever been. Not much drop off in the full of shit department.
But so to leave, so in other words, keeping it as is, with Roe versus Wade having been overturned, and leaving it up to the states to determine if and when a woman can have an abortion?
No, I wouldn't leave it to the states.
You wouldn't, right?
No, I would.
You would say completely. It's up to the woman.
My belief is we should leave it to the woman. We shouldn't have government involved,
even if it's full term.
Even if it's full term.
Okay, and I think.
I gotta say, man, that's that goes to show everything about Sage Steele. In my opinion, that's everything right there. I mean, let me play that one more time.
But so to leave, so in other words, keeping it as is, with Roe versus Wade having been overturned, and leaving it up to the states to determine if and when a woman can have an abortion?
No, I wouldn't leave it to the states.
You wouldn't, right?
No, I would.
You would say completely. It's up to the woman.
My belief is we should leave it to the woman. We shouldn't have government involved,
even if it's full term.
Even if it's full term.
Okay, and I think.
Look, so he didn't take the bait on that. That's funny. He wouldn't take the bait on that one. Look, man. This idea that there are women out there that are like, yeah, I should be able to abort my baby at 8.5 months. The idea that there are people running around doing this, the idea that Sage Steele would float this, she would say this just to try to make him look bad for not saying he wants to get involved in the decision making of what a woman does with her body. It just shows just how disingenuous, man, this business is. I mean, of course, there are a couple people that, do all types of things. There are a couple people that probably agree that a woman should be able, who literally think that a woman should be able to abort a child at any time at all. It could be 5 minutes before her delivery. She'd be like, I quit. Like, maybe that exists, but there are kooky people that want to do everything. There are people that marry animals. Hell, I saw a documentary where there was a woman who married a stop sign. A literal stop sign. I saw where a guy was in love with a median strip on a highway. And he was like hugging it. So, there are people that are just different. Of course, there are a couple people that are, Looney Tunes on that type of ish, but it's not enough people for you to like actually float it as a reasonable type thing. All you're trying to do is catch 22 a guy into some BS. And I like the fact that RFK Jr. did not take the bait on this. He's like, yeah, I think a woman should be in charge, make that decision. Even if it's 4 term, yep, that's what I think. Yep. I mean, I hope it went longer and he laughed. It's like, nah, I don't think you should be, but you're not gonna get me, you're not gonna catch me up in this thing. And look, and here's the thing, man. Why can't women have control of their own bodies? Right? Like you decide who you sleep with, unless it's illegal. Something was illegally done. So why can't a woman decide if she carries a child or not? You know what I'm saying? And I mean, what women get to decide what men do with their bodies? I don't remember this. I mean, maybe there was some medical experiments that women conducted at the behest in the direction of men, right? But other than that, I can't name a single instance where there are women directing what men do with their bodies. I mean, even when we look at the legal system, it's mostly run by men. When we look at armed forces, and if someone gets drafted and put in, once upon a time there was a draft in the United States. And I know these are different ideas because we already know medically it doesn't exist. Like there isn't a woman's panel that's decided if you can have, even if a man could even have a hair transplant, more or less, if he should have to or be forced to or beyond his own control, have to bring life into the earth. I'm just saying, why is it radical? But see, the media is so full of shit. And here's the kicker. Sage Steele probably doesn't agree with her own statements. Like she's just playing devil's advocate. I'm guessing. But you gotta sell it. Like you actually believe this is a coherent type of argument, that it makes sense, that it's above board, that it's from a good place other than just for viewership, just to spark controversy. And it's amazing. It really is. It's amazing. Well, one thing's for sure. The Daily Caller's acquisition of Sage Steele proves one thing. They are very much committed to having the most unethical, easily pliable, disingenuous, phony, fake commentators right in line with the rest of corporate media. Yeah, but with a special flavor of anti-blackness. Because we all know how Sage Steele runs. She's sitting over in sports doing that shit. You know she has a problem doing it here. I'm really not that familiar with all her takes, but I got a feeling if she's taking a spot for Candace Owens, she's just as bad, if not worse. Just as bad, if not worse. Let me know in the comments section if you're a Sage Steele fan. Oh, yeah. Oh, man. So, y'all ready to get going on something else? I got a couple other pieces. Let's go hard and heavy right here, man. Let's get into this story because this is this was a tough one. We got to cover this. And it is about an Air Forceman who was shot in his own home, minding his own business. And I want to cover this because, damn it, I got a little something to say on it. Here goes a clip from CBS, bringing you up to speed if you haven't heard about it. Senior Airman Roger Fortson.
Camera footage has now been released of that deadly police shooting of an airman inside his home. This happened in Florida. Roger Fortson was killed last week by a sheriff's deputy who was responding to calls of a domestic disturbance. Now, his family says the deputy had the wrong apartment. That deputy is now on leave as the shooting is being investigated. Nikki Batiste has more. We have to warn you here. These images are extremely upsetting.
This newly released body cam video shows an Okaloosa County deputy arriving at the home of Senior Airman Roger Fortson's apartment door, responding to a 911 call about a domestic disturbance. The deputy knocks 3 times. After the first knock, he steps off to the side. No one answers, and he knocks 2 more times, identifying himself. The video is partially blurred.
Sheriff's office, open the door!
Seconds later, Fortson opens the door.
Step out.
He's seen holding a handgun that was legally owned, according to his family. The deputy orders him to step back, then fires.
Drop the gun! Drop the gun!
It's over there.
Drop the gun!
I don't have it.
312, shots fired. Suspect down.
Okaloosa Sheriff Eric Aiden says his department released the video to be transparent.
No determination has been made as to whether the deputy's actions were justified or not.
Fortson's mother, Mika, says her son was FaceTiming with his girlfriend during the shooting. The girlfriend told the family the deputy said something not on the body cam video released today.
They just said, oh yeah, he shot up. He shot up. My baby was shot up.
Fortson's family says he was alone and grabbed his gun only after he heard aggressive knocking on his door, peeked through his peephole and saw no one. Fortson's family claims the deputy went to the wrong apartment.
Roger was a gift from God.
He was a patriot, and so he respected authority. Why the police didn't respect him? That's the question.
For CBS Mornings, I'm Nikki Batiste.
Okay. Hard story to get through. Tough story to cover. Tough story. First thing, before we even got started on the commentary, I want to say my condolences to the Fortson family and to his girlfriend as well, and all those who are friends of this young man who lost his life unnecessarily at the hands of the Okaloosa County Sheriff's Office. Okay? That's the first thing. So he's fatally shot by a police officer on May 3rd in his home located off base in Florida. The incident is under investigation, but there are claims the police may have entered the wrong apartment. No, not claims he did. There's a longer, if you look at the whole clip, in the beginning, the officer arrives on the scene, he talks to people, and they describe an incident of a domestic violence incident. They want the officer, that's why he was called. And there was also a woman saying that this guy, whoever he was going to see at the apartment, at the correct apartment, was aggressive, maybe dangerous, XYZ. Okay, so that's part of it. And that there was another woman, there was a woman inside with him, according to that resident who said, I think he's in there with another woman, and there's some stuff going on or whatever. So the officer had a reason to be apprehensive, had a reason to, he had a reason initially to be concerned about his safety. In fact, he called for backup, and that backup, he should have really waited until the backup arrived, I think. But okay. We all know Florida is a stand your ground state. We all know you can legally own a firearm. So the officer seeing a gun, that should not be enough for an officer to completely lose his shit and shoot a person in their own home, whether it was at the right apartment or the wrong apartment. There was no aggressive action by this young man, Mr. Fortson, Roger Fortson. No aggressive action at all. So there's no way to justify that what was done. I understand why the officer was on edge, but there was no aggressive action. He didn't raise his arm. He didn't step towards the officer. And he's in his own home. And you see nothing. It's not like he was holding the gun at someone. So this is a obvious bad shoot, period, point blank. And I hope that the officer is brought up on charges, because you don't get to just make mistakes when you take people's lives. You don't get to just screw up and kill someone in the line of duty. You're supposed to follow the correct protocol to maintain the safety of citizens, not take lives unnecessarily. And that's exactly what this officer did. So that's very, very clear, very obvious. I don't see how anyone could come up with anything different. In fact, this is going to probably be one of those rare cases where conservatives and liberals and progressives and people that are unaffiliated with any of that ideology crap are all going to agree this never should have happened. I mean, for God's sakes, he's on FaceTime with his girlfriend. And the officer steps away from the peephole after knocking on the door. So you go to the door because you heard knocking, and when you get there, there's no one there. So when they knocked harder, he's like, hey, man, for his own safety, who was at my door? I just looked. No one was there. It all makes sense. So it's a tragic event. But this is what I got to get to, because I put a tweet out about this, and obviously there are people that follow me on Twitter who don't read my tweets, or they want to get a rise out of me. So successfully done. Great job. Here you go. I told you, we're not going to be so focused on racial justice that we forget about money. Yeah, we're not going to forget about the money aspect. Yeah, I'm upset this happened. This shouldn't have happened. We got too many damn guns. We got too many cops with damn guns. We got too many cops who are scared for their lives. If you're scared, go to church, okay? But this does not change my opinion about what we need to focus on. As long as you have trigger-happy cops, you're going to have this type of situation. As long as that exists in America, it's going to be unnecessary deaths caused by cops who can't hack it, who should have another job. That's obvious. And why is he going to this domestic call by his damn self anyway? A bunch of stupid shit happened here. But no, bro, no. This has nothing to do with Trump. It has nothing to do with Biden. Biden would not have prevented this. So your bullshit explanation, whatever that comment was, someone gave me some dumb comment. See, this is why we need Biden. No, that has nothing to do with it. Look, there's an election coming up. And to me, it's about economics, because neither one of these parties have proven to me that they're going to stop anything when it comes to racial justice at all. I don't believe it. I think they're going to cut around the edges, trim around the edges, dab it with some alcohol, give you a lollipop and tell you to be on your way. Meanwhile, the lion's share of what needs to be done will never be handled, never tackled. Therefore, economics has got to be where my focus is, because until then, people need to get their money right. Business opportunity, grants, contracts, federal. That's what needs to happen. The states that give out the most business grants, contracts, what have you, should be the states that get the kickbacks from the federal government. The most assistance from the federal government. There are things that presidents can do to enable what I'm talking about. So what I'm basically trying to say, yeah, I'm upset about this, and I already called for justice. And I already say this cop should be dealt with directly. He should be charged. He should be indicted. It's an open shut. But let's not jump down the hill all of a sudden and start saying, well, the only thing we need to focus on is racial justice. No, because they're going to show us one of these every week or so, every couple of weeks up until the election. And it's to distract you from the economics. Economics. Both Trump and Biden are law and order presidents. At the end of the day, since most of America is full of white folks, frankly, who care more about cops than care about us. They care more about cops than the fact that we got ops. Okay? So as long as that's where their focus is, that's the way that corrupt system runs, that's the way the money adds up, that's where they're going to be. So I'm looking at economic opportunity. I'm looking at how can we benefit at this time? How can we get something out of this administration? That's all I'm looking at. I'm way past. I've been covering black people getting shot by cops for the past 12 years. And I ain't seen it get better yet. I haven't seen it get materially better yet. Cops still do this shit. So, Tim Black, the situation's complex. It was this occurred and blah 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 blah. No, I don't want to hear all that. Miss me with that. What y'all gonna do economically? What y'all gonna do economically for this vote you want us to give you? What are you gonna do to eradicate people's inability to pay their bills? What you gonna do for that? How are you gonna materially impact the bottom lines of Black Americans and working class Americans? Because I'm riding with the working class as well. I ride for the working class. So what are either one of these presidents gonna do for that? Because cops shoot white guys who answer doors too. One of the first stories I ever covered was the white guy getting shot on his own porch. Very similar situation. Wrong house. In fact, he had built his own deck. He was a carpenter. And they died on the deck he built by a damn cop. It was somewhere in the Midwest or the South. I can't remember exactly. It's one of the first stories I covered. Well, in my beginning years of doing this. It just never gets publicity. So cops fuck up all the time and kill citizens, particularly working class citizens. How often do cops fuck up like this and kill rich people? Of any color. And that's why I gotta say I'm riding for the working class too. Because I recognize that. I recognize you don't make these types of mistakes. If you're from DC, cops don't make this type of mistake over in Georgetown. Nah, they don't. They don't. They don't. They don't make this type of mistakes in DuPont. They don't. They don't. Them nice areas over there. What's that in? Shit. Not Manassas. What's some good areas of Northern Virginia? Chantilly, Palacio, grounds, green grubbery, shrubbery, some of that nice shit they got growing over there. Nah, they don't make those types of problems, these type of mistakes. King George, that's it. King George, Virginia, they don't make these types of mistakes. Nah, they make them in Sea Pleasant. They make them in Hyattsville. They make them in Capitol Heights. They make them maybe in Arlington. The poor side where the Hispanics are. Huh? That's where they make the mistakes, folks. We're keeping it real. So we gotta be open, not be so triggered. Then all of a sudden we run away from the economic push that we are on, because we know that's a part and parcel of why things go bad for us. So yeah, I'm down. I'm gonna cover it, but I'm gonna keep reminding you. I'm gonna cover black people getting shot by cops. That's my duty. But I'm gonna keep reminding you, it's about that money, that paper. We're gonna keep focused on that prize. Because we've been talking about social justice since the 60s. And since they've been letting me talk about people getting shot, black people getting shot by cops, Poor white people getting shot by cops. We talk about that all the time. Let's see if they like me talking about the economic side. Because as I recall, that's when they shot MLK. Yeah, he was talking all that racial equality shit. He was just fine. He got hit with a couple rocks, dog sicked on him, stabbed by his sister that time. Remember that? A lot of death threats from the FBI, but it really intensified and took him out when he started talking about that paper. So let's start talking about that paper. Let's start talking about that paper. Let's start talking about economic incentives. All right. Once again, my condolences to the family of Roger Fortson, the Air Force Airman, the Senior Airman, who was gunned down in his own home. It's a travesty. Reminds me a lot of the Botham Jeans case that we covered on this channel as well. All right, next story. And look, guys, remember, this is the Tim Black Show. I need your support. Join us, become a member of the show. Sign up, subscribe, turn on all your notifications. All your notifications. And oh yeah, guys, all live streams will be available indefinitely. Got to make some changes. So all live streams after the show, they're not going away. I was trying to give my members something, but who am I fooling, man? We're just gonna open up the gates for the live streams. If I give you something special, it's gonna be just an extra. It'll just be extra content, not the content I normally put out. And feel free if you feel lost at this. Don't worry. This is say nothing's changing. We're just doing what we usually do. I got fancy for a minute, and we're not gonna be fancy. Okay. So your comments, your live comments, the chat, all that's going to stay intact in the video. If you come back later this week, it'll still be here. All right, guys, let's go to the next story. Now, this is funny because I covered a lot of this guy during the Republican primaries. I covered him. I thought he was hilarious. Vivek Ramaswamy recently sat down with Ann Coulter and had a conversation. If you haven't seen it, you're going to be in for a treat. Here goes Ann, reminding Vivek that she can see. Oh, even if he can't.
I brought on today somebody who I think has some thoughtful perspectives on the future direction of our country, of our conservative movement, and on this question of nationalism and national identity, somebody I've been fascinated by for a long time and have interacted with on social media, but for the first time we're having at least a live form conversation in the offline sense of it. It's Ann Coulter. So Ann, thanks for coming on, and I'm looking forward to our conversation today.
Me too. Thanks for having me. That was a fantastic opening monologue. I too am a fan of yours. So I'm going to make a point of disagreeing with you so that it will be fun. You are so bright and articulate, and I guess I can call you articulate since you're not an American Black. Can't say that about them. That's derogatory. And that was a great opening segment. Lots of things to talk about there. Oh, and I agreed with many, many things you said during, in fact, probably more than most other candidates when you were running for president. But I still would not have voted for you because you're an Indian. We'll get back to that.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah. You are Indian, mofo. That's right. She can't vote for your punk ass because you are a dot Indian. Fuck out of here. Still believe that America doesn't have racism now, Vivek? Huh? Can you hear it now? Does it exist now that it's your black ass? Oh, sorry. Now that it's your tan ass? Oh, that's right. If I assign colors to other people, it's called racism. You can only say white and black. If you say any other colors in the box, somehow that's derogatory. Weird. Maybe it should be weird to call us black. But nah, I digress. It's funny as hell that Vivek Ramaswamy got his clock cleaned by Ann Coulter. That's a hilarious thing. I welcome it, obviously. You can see how jovial. Oh, just imagine all of the Republicans who ran against Vivek. He was doing that fast talking Ben Shapiro bullshit, heartless, soulless bullshit that he had focus group tested to see if it worked with the whites. Nothing like a person of color shitting on the blacks, telling the black people that they are delusional when they think racism is a thing still. Yeah, and then he steps out here. He's got his new X program up. Elon Musk hooked him up. And what happens? Bam! Right out the gate. White lady, blonde hair white lady tells him, fuck you, Indian. Yeah, I think you're really charming and witty and bright and very intelligent and well-spoken and articulate. And the blacks, you see his face when she said that? I can say you're articulate because you can't say that to black people because, that means, because that's considered a diss to them to say that. Yeah, and that's because black people weren't allowed to learn in America. See, because for 250 years or so, I think it's longer, for several centuries, it was against the law for black people to read. People like you said we couldn't read. It was against the law for us to read. We could die for owning a book. And white people could get tar and feathered for teaching us. So, yeah, it's kind of a sore spot with someone white. It's like calling someone black articulate because it conjures up all that shit that most white people don't want to deal with. Doofus. Why is it that white people always talk as if they know something about history, but then leave out major chunks of history? But I find that I'm going to let that pass because you gave me what I wanted. You gave me what I wanted, Ann. Yeah, you did. Go ahead, sister. You dated JJ, didn't you? You're all right with my book, even if you do got some effed up politics overall. Yeah, I love this, man. This is a thing of beauty, man. I'm telling you, man, I'm so excited about this. It's nothing. See, when black people say it, when black people say shit to these types of morons, these people that come over, these type of immigrants who come over, who tell you how, oh, there's no racism. I've been just fine. Everything's beautiful. There's blacks complaining about nothing. I don't even know what they're complaining about. And their kids are like, they're complaining about these white people the way they treat us. Shut up. You shut up. You be quiet. Don't you assimilate with black pain. Their kids, though, they go in the wrong school. Their white kids be tearing their ass up, joking and calling them all types of derogatory terms. But these same parents will get on TV, get a little position, run for an office, and pretend it's the fakeness, the lie. The lie. They want to be on the team of white supremacy so bad, they will deny. And they know one thing. They may not know a lot, but they know one thing. Being black is not where it's at in America. Vivek knows that shit, and he perpetuates it. And I love the fact Ann Coulter decided to do this shit. So trust me, this is not Ann Coulter off the cuff. Ann Coulter sat down and she wrote this shit. She thought about it. And she saw those clips of Vivek Ramaswamy saying that racism don't exist, institutional racism doesn't exist, it's not a problem, it's not a thing, colorblind society, him and Coleman Hughes sharing the same two sellouts, one cup, those two assholes. Yeah, America's is just a rainbow and everybody should just melt into the melting pot and colorblind society is what we have, and we got a few dumb blacks who just don't want to get on board and just be American. Ann Coulter's not one of those people that's delusional that way. In fact, Ann Coulter has always been an outspoken proponent of things like reparations for blacks. Yeah, I don't know if Vivek did his research. Yeah, Vivek, Mr. Well-spoken, Mr. Articulate, Mr. Fancy-Pantsy. If you did your research, you know Ann Coulter, you would have had that gun loaded, baby. You would have known. She might be coming through the door with some racial shit. And unlike your other conservatives, she might actually say some things that black people can agree with, which means you're going to disagree with it. That's what that meant. See, Ann Coulter's on the record for saying a lot of immigrants like you come over here, and what do? You take advantage of black pain and suffering. Use it to your advantage. But according to Ann Coulter and those that agree with her and think the way that she does, black people are the only people that America owes something to that aren't white. Yeah, according to Ann Coulter, she believes that all the other immigrants, they try to eat at the table, eat off the suffering and pain of black people, but none of them are owed anything from America because none of them were brought here against their will and are free to go. See, that's the Ann Coulter I know. So I'm really glad she let your punk ass have it. I really did. And it's amazing how he took it without flinching. He sat up there, like it didn't bother his ass at all. He was sitting up there like Denzel Washington in Glory. No tears ran down his eyes. But in his head, he's running around. That little mouse in his head was running from drawer to drawer, looking for how to respond to this. And he felt it was best not to piss off his base and respond at all. Because at the end of the day, Vivek don't give a fuck about Indian. He don't care about blacks. He don't care about other immigrants. What he cares about is kissing white supremacists' ass. Yep. Buddying up all cozy like to white supremacy and getting whatever he can get out of it. Yeah, that's really what he is. And the last thing he's going to do is stand up on a moral ground for people like himself. The last thing he wants to do is do that. No, he wants to be, if he's going to be an example to other immigrants, his example will be that he's able to take it on the chin, ignore anything that has to do with morality or ethics or justice and just go for the bag. And that's what he wants to teach his kids and all other kids. Go for the bag. Don't let nothing get in the way of getting that motherfucking bag. So thank you, Ann Coulter, for exposing Vivek in a way that no black American can do. Because saying he's anti-black, saying that he's anti-anything other than white supremacy, no one listens when we say it. But it took Ann Coulter to expose it and show it and demonstrate it. I mean, the guy didn't even say, hey, Ann, that sounds messed up, man. You just said I was the best person for the job based on policy. You don't vote based on policy? Why would you let the color of my skin, where my parents were born, impact you having the best person for the job? He could even come back with something like that. It's kind of soft shoeing around the fact. I mean, if it was me, I'd just say, you sound like a racist asshole, Ann Coulter. How long have you been a racist asshole? That's how I would have responded. And that's why I'm sitting over here doing my show the way I'm doing it. You know what I'm saying? But he could even go the soft pedal route. Now, he just shut right the hell up. Right the hell up. In fact, there are a lot of immigrants who are just like Vivek. He's not by himself. Vivek, not by himself. There are a lot of immigrants who practice not giving a damn about justice, about morality, about ethics, and damn sure don't give a damn about stepping over black people issues, and nullifying black people's issues, and being a buffer, right? Being a counter argument to any justice claims and saying, hey, I did it, why can't you? Obviously, we're both not white, so you should be doing just as well as me. Yep. Damn, that was a thing of beauty. Hey, what the hell, man? Let's play it one more time. Come on. Let's watch it together.
And that's why I brought on today somebody who I think has some thoughtful perspectives on the future direction of our country, of our conservative movement, and on this question of nationalism and national identity, somebody I've been fascinated by for a long time. and have interacted with on social media, but for the first time, we're having at least a live form conversation in the offline sense of it. It's Ann Coulter. So Ann, thanks for coming on, and I'm looking forward to our conversation today.
Me too. Thanks for having me. That was a fantastic opening monologue. I too am a fan of yours. I'm going to make a point of disagreeing with you so that it will be fun. You are so bright and articulate, and I guess I can call you articulate since you're not an American Black. Can't say that about them. That's
Yeah, that's fun. He's smiling there. Yeah, can't say that about them. Yeah, got the pearly whites out there on that one. Yeah, you can't say that about them. They're those silly Negroes. Watch the way he shifts, though. Things change.
that's derogatory. And that was a great opening segment. Lots of things to talk about there. Oh, and I agreed with many, many things you said during, in fact, probably more than most other candidates when you were running for president. But I still would not have voted for you because you're an Indian. We'll get back to that.
Look at his face. I love it. He looks a little upset. The eyes don't lie. I said the eyes don't lie. His mouth lies all the time. Oh, his mouth lies all the time. Oh, man. His mouth is full of lies. But those eyes don't lie. He looks like he's cutting his eyes at Ed. Look at Ed. Right off of probably FaceTiming with J.J. Walker. Her love. I'll tell you, man, that is something, man. That is something else, man. It's a beautiful thing. Oh, it's good. It's good when they get what's coming to him live like that. He couldn't even like cut nothing. You know what I'm saying? And then I saw him like going out to Ted Lieu. Ted Lieu, the Democrat, I think it's from California. Ted Lieu was like, why you let her treat you like that? Why you such a piece of garbage, Vivek? Why don't you have a backbone, Vivek? And Vivek's like, well, I didn't hear you talking back to the blacks when they were being targeted, when the Asians were being targeted by blacks. He tried to flip it. No, Vivek. No, Vivek, don't do it. That was my tweet. Vivek, don't do that. Don't try to change it up, Vivek. It's about your spineless ass, your cowardly ass, you shape-shifting snake oil salesman. We see you back bent, groveling for that white lady on TV. We saw you. Going to switch it up and go after Ted Lieu. Of course, Ted Lieu's a piece of garbage. He is. He's a sellout, pandering asshole. Ted Lieu, I don't like him either. But we talking about you right now. We talking about you and how Broomhilda just stepped all over your feelings. Yeah, that's right. That's where we at right now. Right now, we on your ass. Yeah, that's right. You trying to strike a chord, and it's probably an A minor. Uh-huh. Yeah. Shout out to my son TJ for giving me the title of tonight's show. I think it's perfect. That's right. Yeah, see, my son's here, so he's, I'll probably be a lot cooler for the next couple months. I say, what's one of your favorite bars to the Kendrick Lamar versus Drake thing? He's like, yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. Oh man, I almost wish I had more content. This is gonna be a good night. This is just good. It's good stuff. That's gonna be a nice clip when I put that out. Put that clip on. That clip should go viral. Viral, right? Get some new 10 black people in here. Yeah, get some black boy folks. Come on now. Holler at me. Get at me. Because they covering it, but they don't cover it like this. Nah, Broomhilda got off into his ass. Suzanne Summers' older sister, no, I guess she's probably a little bit older, a little bit younger. Suzanne Summers got off into his ass. Called him a boo. got his ass. Got his ass. Said, you're smart and everything, but I can't vote for you. You're Indian. Remind me of that Good Times episode where it was like, we can never live here. Why? Because we don't like being around the bees. We're like, bees? What bees? It's like, the blacks. That was hilarious. Yeah. But Vivek wasn't ready, though. Yeah, he was like Tiffany Haddish dealing with those white girls on the campus there in that Netflix festival. He wasn't ready. He wasn't ready for it, man. That's a beautiful thing, man. Beautiful thing. All right, guys. All right, so don't worry. I got some more controversy for you when it's Calling It Out show with Tim Black. Check this out. This is where. Oh, shout out. First, let me shout out my friend Megs. Megs supports the show. Go ahead, Megs. Megs gave us a super chat. Thank you, Megs. I appreciate you, Megs, for supporting the show. Yeah. Once upon a time in the neighborhood. Okay. In the same vein of that previous comment, the previous video we just did, with Vivek getting housed, we have another one of these conservatives, man. And this one is something special, right? Because, yeah, I've talked about Vivek, but I've never talked to Vivek. So this is funny. Patrick Bet David recently did a show, and he had a guest on one of his episodes. His guest was Dennis Prager from Prager University. And if you know Dennis Prager, you know that Dennis Prager is a evangelist of the conservative anti-black coalition. Yes, he is. And he's full of hypocrisies. Yeah, hypocritical, lying-ass, conservative, blowhard BSer. Right? So Pat David and Dennis Prager. Here goes a little clip that was posted on X. Patrick Bet David, what some would call a shyster. A shyster. A low-down shyster. Here goes their clip, and this is going to be good too. Get to it.
After such a dramatic event that happened to Jews, okay?
Now, guys, I got to tell you, I want it to go all the way through, and then we'll come back and we'll pick it apart. So, because at the beginning, I wanted to stop right there. But we're going to play it one more time. I'm going to play it all the way through, then we'll come back and pick it apart.
Why, after such a dramatic event that happened to Jews, okay, with the intentions of wanting to eliminate every single Jew on the face of the planet, right? This is what Hitler's vision was, right? Why is it years later, after a crisis like that, what values and principles helped Jews pretty much own Hollywood, do well in business, do well in life?
Oh, I'll tell you, I have the answer
Go
for
for
you.
it, yeah.
They didn't see themselves as victims. It is the most paralyzing thing in black life, what the left is doing to blacks. The left hates you blacks. No, they don't hate you. They have contempt for you. Telling you you're a victim is paralyzing. Jews did not walk around thinking they're victims even after the Holocaust.
Why not?
Because they knew it is completely self-destructive.
How did they know?
I don't know. It's a great... well, maybe because of the Jewish tradition has always been, we take responsibility for our own suffering.
Okay. Yeah, man. Yeah, we're going to get into this one. This is actually great. I'm so happy that Patrick Bet David did this, because this is what we need. We need this conversation. See, when you assign certain types of ideologies to people, they deny the shit. Let's say, hey, man, you're a lying piece of shit, Patrick Bet David. You are a race hustling, lying ass, because they like to say a person that points out racism is a race hustler. But you don't think this is race hustling? You don't think this is race hustling when Patrick Bet David sets off a softball It was such a softball for racist ass Dennis Prager to hit. The Dennis Prager is almost like, I can't believe he just tossed that to me. I'm going to knock the stuffing out of this ball, Johnson, because it's such an obvious play. Patrick Bet David already knows the ideology of Dennis Prager. He already understands how to get a viral moment out of Dennis Prager. He already knows what Dennis Prager is going to say. Understand what I'm saying. When he did this, guys, it's a setup. It's like, we're going to get a soundbite. It's going to trigger black people, and white people are going to agree. This is how you go viral. It's a formula. It works all the time. We're going to play this one more time, and now we'll stop it, and we'll pick it apart. We won't have to go far.
Why, after such a dramatic event that happened to Jews? Okay.
First of all, since Patrick Bet David is comparing Jews and black, obviously, let's point out this, and I pointed this out in a tweet for people that don't know, Real Tim Black on Twitter or X. What happened to black people was not an event. What happened to black people lasted for centuries, dickhead, and it's still happening. So that's the main difference. Pat's supposed to be a smart guy. That's why I say he's a grifting piece of shit, because he should be smart enough to know what happened to Jews lasted for about 4 years. What happened to black people has been happening for over 3 centuries. What? I don't know how many years of slavery, 1615 to 1865, right? Then another 100 years of Jim Crow. Yeah, that's more than an event. That's lifetimes. That's multiple generations, Pat David. What happened to Jews happened for about 4 years, and then guess what happened? They were saved. Then guess what happened? They were given billions of dollars. Some people would say it was almost like reparations. Something you don't support for us. But like you, in your own setup, Jews had an event. Black people had an existence and still have an existence. But let's keep going, Johnson. Let's keep on going.
Okay, with the intentions of wanting to eliminate every single Jew on the face of the planet, right? This is what Hitler's vision was, right? Why is it years later, after a crisis like that, what values and principles helped Jews pretty much own Hollywood, do well in business, do well in life?
Oh, I'll tell you, I have the answer
Go
for you.
for it, yeah.
They didn't see themselves.
I got the answer for you. They got money, dumbass. They got money. And they had towns built for them like Levittown. Yeah. Black people had towns built for them too. It was called slums. Projects. With no money. And still were denied employment. They were denied things like the GI Bill. Denied out things like the Homestead Act. Denied things like, I don't know, grants. Loans at a reasonable rate. They had problems like being able to live wherever they wanted to live, being able to have a job wherever they wanted to have a job. It's called segregation. It's called discrimination. It's called Jim Crow for 100 years. Jews didn't go through that in America. In fact, if you're Jewish and change your name and take off the fucking hat, no one even knows you're Jewish. What the fuck? Up here talking about, what's the difference? Oh, it's a victim mentality. How about being victimized? Yeah, I'll repeat this, man. If you take off your hat, like Prager, this guy's Jewish. You don't know about looking at him. Just see a fat old white guy. But no matter what last name I have, no matter if I lose weight or not, I'm black. Dr. King talked about this very explicitly in one of his speeches, in one of his talks, about the difference. We answered this. We answered it. MLK answered this in the 60s. It's on YouTube, Pat. You goofball, you doof, you sellout, you pandering to white supremacy, moron. You snake oil salesman, slimy, bent back bastard. You paid off scumbag, slumlord, white supremacist, coddling, fondling, receptacle. That's what you are. You're a receptacle for white supremacist loads. Martin Luther King said, what's different about the black experience, what's different about what's happened to black people in America is we wear our difference on us in the form of skin color. That's the difference. That's it. I've told people, and I've told this story before on my channel, that it was a guy that worked with me. And the last job I had before this became my full-time job, full-time business. His name was Joe. It was a guy named Joe. I know him as Joe. And I worked with him for a number of years, maybe 4 years, until I had to reset his password one day. I didn't realize his name was really Jose, because Joe changed his first name to Jose. But see, when you had to go into the records, I had to go into the employee records in order to reset his password into the server, and there, your real name is there. So he didn't legally change his first name, but to everyone that knew him at this office, at this big location, this government contractor, he was a government contractor. He was a subcontractor who had a contract with the federal government. Everyone knew him as Joe. But see, Joe was actually Jose. But in order to make sure nothing fucked up his money, everyone called him Joe. He made it that way. And like I said, he worked there for 4 years. So unlike Hispanic folks, unlike Jewish folks, black people wear the tool of their discrimination. The way in which we are identified to be alerted to all the white supremacists. Hey, watch this one. Hey, deny this one. Hey, every stereotype that they have in their heads is activated when they see my hand. In fact, if you sell a Rolex and I sell a Rolex, same condition, and you're holding it white man and I'm holding it black Tim, mine will sell for less. My bids will be lower just because my black hand is holding a Rolex. There's studies about this out the ass. And Patrick Bet David knows it. But see, Patrick Bet David is a scumbag. He's morally bankrupt. Just like Vivek Ramaswamy. He's another one of these people who's either immigrant and talks about how bad it was in that country, comes here, and as long as he's not black, he's given opportunities. Just gotta be not black, dumbass. Last time I checked, whatever you are, Pakistani or whatever, they were never enslaved in America. So whatever's going on in Pakistan doesn't have anything to do with what goes on here in America. Yeah, of course there are going to be white people that don't want your Pakistani ass or whatever you are, because I really don't know, nor do I give a shit. But this idea that Prager's floating here, guys, is so full of shit. We just see ourselves as victims. Anything to deny that American government policies victimize us. Anything else. And even these people that keep saying, why don't all the blacks side with the Jewish community? Why don't we work together? And we got that loudmouth asshole from the ADL popping his head up all the time. Popping his punk ass head up, complaining about how black people, so-called, don't stand up enough for Jewish people. When half the Jewish people are taking off their hats long ago, dropped the Berg on their names, and are just living their lives, getting their money. We out here fighting this shit on our own, and everyone knows it. We all know we're fighting this shit on our own. Of course, there are good people here and there. There are good pockets of good people, and there are even some people that are delusional enough to think when they go out to a march and they see some other people that means it's a whole lot of people. But folks, in the grand scheme of things, we are on our fucking own. Because there are people like Dennis Prager who are part of a group that was dealt a hefty blow. But I don't try to minimize what happened to Jewish folks. I don't try to minimize it. But they minimize our struggle and tell us it's all in our heads. Look at Shaq. Shaq is a fucking medical humanity phenomenon, dumbass. People should not have to be medical humanity birth phenomenons in order to be successful. You should not have to be 7'10", size 62 to be successful just because you black. You should be able to be short and stocky, scrawny, pot-bellied fucking old piece of garbage with a shit network like Prager here and still be super successful. You shouldn't have to have a jump shot like Kobe, ball handling skills like Allen Iverson to have money just because you black. You should be just as mediocre as Ben Shapiro. Just as unfunny as Bill Maher. And still get that paper. You should not have to be as talented as a Cat Williams or Dave Chappelle. You understand? Or Richard Pryor in order to get paper. So yeah, it's funny. They like to point at our celebrities and use them against us instead of anything other than admitting the system has fucked us. Anything other than the truth. Anything other than the truth. And then I got a whole bunch of people in media who don't want to tell the truth either. And they do a Pat Bet David, a Patrick Bet David from infotainment. They lie and they downplay and they condescend and they ignore and they try to rewrite history. And then they act oblivious. What's really different about Jewish people and black people? I don't know. They weren't raped out of fucking existence to the almost the point where you can't find a single black person in America who didn't have white ancestry? Huh? Maybe that would be it. Maybe because we had our language stripped, our religion stripped, all our wealth stripped, repeatedly and repeatedly and repeatedly for. But there are people that are going to Patrick Bet David show like he didn't say this shit. Like this never happened. Won't challenge him, won't bring it up. Watch. He'll bring people on, they won't bring it up. Because at the end of the day, in this media game, it is about the bag. And look, and here's the other thing. And I'm going to add this. And at the end of the day, I don't even know if this is really what Patrick Bet David truly believes. Because in the media game, this is what you have to do to be successful. This is how you really get the money. You cook up controversy, you manufacture controversial comments, and then you watch the virality. And as long as you're able to take the incoming sticks and stones, and it's always us, we're the safest group to go after, particularly in this climate. Yeah. Black people get vocal and loud. I mean, if he was talking about Polish, you think they would get that loud? He was talking about Asian folks. Would they really get that loud? No. Black people are going to push back, cause a frenzy. We're going to react emotionally from this shit, and we're going to help him make another couple $100,000. In fact, he's counting on it. And that's why he did it. Because even Patrick Bet David, a scumbag that he is, an opportunist that he is, a greedy capitalist fuck up. Right? Right? All the things that he is. Right? Amway distributing asshole or some derivative of it. Some very similar product of it. He knows how to make money. And he has no qualms about throwing black people under the bus. But he won't throw the gays under the bus. There might be some backlash from that. I don't even know if I could sit through the rest of this, but I said I'd play the majority of it or to play it back one more time. Here goes the ending of that piece.
As victims. It is the most paralyzing thing in black life, what the left is doing to blacks. The left.
See, and that's what I can't stand, man. Folks, he's right. What the left does is bad. I don't know if you call it left, though. Stop calling it left. Democrats, motherfucker, and Republicans. That's what both sides do, okay? And what the Democrats and Republicans do is not good for black people. But it's not like Republicans are much better. They both suck. And I'm tired of people saying, oh, the Democrats are so much better. They're not so much better. He's right about that. He's right. They're condescending as hell. And if you start cutting outside the lines, if you start being vocal and saying, where's that paper? How are you going to help us economically? What are you going to do to right the wrongs? Then you become persona non grata. So you can sit in my comment section, dum-dum, and keep on saying stupid shit like, yeah, but the Republicans are so much worse. At the end of the day, if it ain't put money in the pockets of black people, if it's not enabling black people to make more money, who gives a fuck? That's what you got to understand about a lot of black people that are considering voting for Trump. Not all of us. There are some, I guess if you throw a rock, you might hit a black person in the head who's dumb enough to side with Trump over his arrest. That's silly. No, they detest Democrats. They're bitter, and they detest Democrats. That's actually the motivating factor. And they're looking for any excuse not to roll with you because you don't roll with them. But at the end of the day, if you're not trying to economically empower those who are intentionally disempowered by your system, and by your party, and by your laws, then what good are you? And there are black people that are conscious of this. And they're saying, neither one of these groups give a shit about me as a human being, really. I'm just a means to an end for them to get power. It's all about them making money. So I don't care about that. Economically, who's the better lick? Because fuck all this, who likes us more, who wants to give us a holiday that we already had. Screw putting somebody on a $50 bill. I don't care about your Confederate flag shit. What you gonna do for my business? What you gonna do to help us have the same, to increase our wealth? Because we live in a capitalistic society, and I ain't got all day to hear this bullshit about who likes me more. We all know America don't like Americans. We already know white Americans don't like white Americans. They step over them at the metro. They can give us shit. I cover stories of white people killing white people, and nobody white gave a shit, except those family members who contacted me on the low and thanked me. Because no one contacts them. No one covers that shit. But it's white people shooting white people all the time, and they don't even talk about it. It's not even a thing. Unless black people kill black people, no one cares. Because no one cares when white people kill white people. No one cares when Hispanics kill Hispanics. And by the way, even the term Hispanics made up just to deflate black power, the amount of black people in America, and make another group. Yeah, didn't think I knew that one. I know that one. What the fuck a Guatemala got to do with somebody from Mexico? And what does that person got to do with someone from DR or PR? I mean, really, what do they got to do with each other? Nothing. Nothing. Different countries, dumbass. At the end of the day, it is what it is. And that's why a lot of people are changing their minds and deciding to go with the Republicans. Now, we all know, I told you. In the perfect world, I'm a Cornel West supporter, and I would wish Dr. Cornel West could become president. But we all know this world ain't perfect. But I still support the effort, and I support what he stands for. Can't say that about the majority of the other candidates. But I am glad to see Claudia De La Cruz run and Dr. Jill Stein. I'm glad to see them run. When we start getting down to brass tacks, folks, when we start spitting that real shit, when we start really having a conversation, it get ugly. And then the Democrats ain't got nothing for you. See, maybe in your mind, you think Democrats are good because they help you, because you hate Trump. But economically, what's going to be the better move? That's where I'm at. And that's where we got to be at. That's where I'm at. I'm not going to spend the next 10 years of my life jumping out the gym over cop shootings. Money. So Prager University, Dennis Prager, is what he always was. And Prager and David is who he always was. And at the end of the day, nothing's changed. So as upset as some people are about this clip, just know it's a great opportunity to double down on this conversation. And believe me, when he said it, that guy from the ADL who keeps popping his head up, going everywhere, the Breakfast Club, everybody's show, talking about how bad Jewish people got it in America, he winced the most. That asshole, Michael Rappaport, he winced the most because this makes them look really bad. And that's really good for real truth tellers. So it's been a great week for black folks who ain't on that bullshit. And not because of no damn Trump hearings. Fuck a Trump hearing. None of that shit will be decided before the election. And if it's decided after that, he'll just pardon himself. So go fuck off. Looking for Hail Marys. That shit ain't going to work. So it is what it is. All right, guys. Let's go to the comment section. I saw I had another person who supported the show. Let me give it up for my other supporter of the show. Thank you for the super chat, brother. There we go. Lucius Tatum says your content is always necessary. Thank you, my friend. Thank you, my friend Lucius. And as always, Megs in the house. Thank you, Megs. I'm going to need everybody to hit like on this. Come on now, hit like on the show, man. I think I left a little bit of my soul in this one. And I try to do that with every show, but this one sort of brought it out for me in a way that I think is really distinctive about what I do. See, I notice a lot of people, anybody can do this job. But not anybody can do this job. Let me go to some of my people. Katrina Watts is in the house. This is just how rich white supremacists feel about people like Vivek. This should not surprise anyone. It looked like it surprised Vivek, didn't it? He looked surprised like hell, didn't he, sister? He looked shook. He looks like a sad child, says Uprising Consulting. Yeah, he does. All it takes is money. Let's go print some more. La 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 cha cha. La 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 cha cha. La 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 cha cha. La 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 cha. See what I'm saying? La 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 cha cha. La 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 cha. See what I'm saying? My people, they on point. My people on point. D gave me the shot. There it is. D gave me the shot. Thank you, D. I appreciate you, fam. David's View in the house. Thank you, David's View. I appreciate you, fam. Thank you for being a member of the Tim Black Show. Quiet Stripe says nobody wants to hear the truth. Oh, they're going to hear that truth, though. They're going to hear it, fam. If they come over here, they're going to hear the truth all day and then some. I'm going to send their asses running from it. Look at this. Bruce Newsom says Israel took what they've been doing to the people of Palestine right out of the handbook or the playbook of the American 1600s. My brother, my brother, my brother. See? That's what I'm saying, man. Bruce, become a member, Bruce. I rock with you, Bruce. Now, Rosalind. Moreover, the history of the Jewish genocide is taught in schools. Booyah! See, this is what I'm saying, man. I have people. I've got people that are real, people that are honest, and people that are truthful. That's what it is. That's what that is. Lynn, thank you, Lynn. We got your card, Lynn. Thank you, sister. Glad this is being covered. Always quality perspective. Thank you, Lynn. Nick, it's all in your heads, they say. Who the put it there? And what I'm saying is, look, fam. Nick, I appreciate you, but understand this, Nick. It was intentional. It was purposeful. None of this is by accident. This was purposefully done. What was done to black people was purposefully done. Intentionally done. No mistakes, no accidents. Okay? That's what it is. So, yeah. Wow. We need to go back to the phone calls, man. We need to go back to phone calls. Anybody here think we need to go back to the phone system? Who thinks we should go back to the phone system? Give me a 1 if you think so, and give me a 0 if you think not. Keep it simple. 1s and 0s. 1s is yes, 0s are no. Let me explain. Let me explain why I've decided why I have taken so long, and I have not. I have not done it because I can't control calls up. I'm gonna be honest. Some people are calling repeatedly that made my show not fun for me to do anymore. There were people that were calling my show who made me not want to do the show anymore. I'm being honest. And since I don't have anyone screening my phone calls, it became impossible. And I don't need to stress. I got kids. And now I even have more kids. After the passing of my daughter, I have more kids. Full time. And they need me here. And I can't get all stressed out over people that repeatedly call the show. It's like they would call the show and wouldn't even know what we were talking about. Would not even care to be on topic. They just want to be heard and have a name for themselves. They didn't give a fuck what we were even discussing. It's like they had nothing else going on in their lives, and they would call my show just to build a rep for themselves. They abused the system repeatedly. And I said, you know what? I can't control this. So you know what? I'm going to shut it down. Fuck them. But the truth of the matter is, we had a good show. If it wasn't for that, it was a good show. And I'm considering bringing it back. And I will only do so if I get the support of the community. If I get the support of the community, I'll open phone lines back up. So I'm being real transparent, man. I got no reason to bullshit you. Like I was telling Mrs. Black, I'm still in a rebuilding process. And it's a beautiful thing, and I'm going to embrace the fact I got nothing to lose. And that's what's beautiful about it. So, transparency and honesty, realness. That's all we got. Chris Walker says, keep speaking your truth, Tim Black. Much love from California. A priest learning more as a 35-year-old white fan. God bless and peace be with you. Absolutely, Chris. Chris, check this out, fam. I appreciate you commenting. I appreciate you supporting the show. and know you are welcome here. As long as you're just trying to soak it up, man, and learn. And you can contribute, not just financially, but also your voice. And it's cool to ask questions, right? I've always prided myself on the fact that I don't want my show to I want my show open to everyone, right? I do, because I feel like that's important. But it will bend the knee for no one. So it's open to everyone, but it bends the knee for no one. And it polices itself for no one. And that's the way I need to keep it. There it is. So thank you, fam. I appreciate you. Katrina Watson says, and Claudia. Yeah, I think I threw her in there too. Because, I mean, I heard her speak once, and I was impressed. And I've heard nothing but good things ever since. So I support her climb. I support what she's doing. You know what I'm saying? That's real talk. And I'm sure she knows that. Nick gave to the show. Thanks, Nick. I appreciate you, Nick. Give it up for Nick. I see a lot of ones, y'all. We might have to go back to it, Buck. We might have to do it, Buck. Iron Man Oz. We might have to do it, Iron Man Oz. I didn't see a single zero. Not a single one. Let me sleep with it over the weekend. Let me think about it over the weekend. I'm not gonna get my answer yet. Let me think about it over the weekend, because for all the reasons I stated, those were sound reasons. I mean, hell, Steve Harvey ain't going through that shit. Steve Harvey's not going through that type of shit. Maybe I need to see what the Black Authority is doing, because he's the only one I know who's doing it and doing it well. So shout out to the Black Authority for the phone call situations that he's doing, and him doing it such a great job for so long. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to the Black Authority for that. You know? And whether you have disagreements with people or not, you should be able to get respect and be honest and be real. So maybe it's a way, some things I need to incorporate. You know? And I think maybe it's just saying, okay, just blocking people. Just block the shit out of them. Refund their money and block the shit out of them if they overstep. Give them a warning, but after that, that's it. But let me think about it over the weekend, y'all. I got nothing but love for you. Things are going to heat up around here. They're going to get more and more contentious, more controversial, and the gloves are never going back on. Give it up to my people, man. Katrina says, do what you like. We will still support you. That's what's up, Katrina. I appreciate you, sister. But no, also, I realized, like, look, you guys, you people that support the show and that watch the show, you'll keep the show going. And everybody should be open to dialogue. And if my viewers are really on it, that's a hell of a selling point. You know what I'm saying? Because I do this show for myself, but I really do it for the people. I do it for the people that I serve. And I want to serve my audience, the people that, you know, my audience. You guys. Right? So those people that are truly my audience. Not the trolls. Not the trolls. Not the damn trolls. All right, guys, I'm done. Much love. Enjoy your weekend. Be safe this weekend, please, y'all. Real talk, man. This show is dedicated to Jason Kennedy. Jason Kennedy was a fan of the show. Jason Kennedy was a huge fan of the show, and God, I feel like it's been about a year. Jason Kennedy passed away, and man, he left, you know, he supported this show. And he left a couple donations that were sizable back when he did, you know. And he just told me to keep going, man, and that he'd be there with me in spirit. And it's been a lot of people like that. Shout out to Jason Kennedy and Mystical Carter. And my brother Tom. That's 3. And I'm going to leave it there, y'all. I appreciate y'all. I really do. I hope you appreciate the show. If you do become a member of the show, go to jointimblack.com. You can join right here on YouTube. If you can't do any of that, and I understand it, share the show with somebody. Let people know about the show. Hit like, share it, and help spread the word. That's important too. Okay? So I thank you so much for being here. It's been my pleasure to rock the mic tonight and to let their asses have it. Because we ain't going quietly. Nah, we're going to stand 10 toes down for what we about. We're going to stand on business. I love y'all. I see you soon. Remember, don't let nobody take your cornbread. And they say, damn it, Tim Black, you stay kicking them in the ass. Tell them, hey, it's a new day. Wolfpack, my people. What a night. Hey, brother. Yeah, man, people said that, to me, I think they really want it. They want things to go back to that, man. I'm seriously concerned.